Hold on, guys. I'm trying to fix my phone here. Let's see here if I can do this. Okay, how y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. All right. I tried to do this live stream on my phone, and it crashed. So, if you see me looking over, got my phone set up. I'm live chatting with somebody else while I'm doing this live stream. It's my F150 2008 model XLT. Okay, lug nut removal. I'm telling you, I had a hell of a time getting my lug nuts to come off on my truck. So instead of me being able to show y'all, because it's already been done, I went ahead, and did what I had to. I fixed, it was a seal on the back of the hub where your actuator locks in and out. I drove through a flooded road and it was too deep, and I got water sucked into my lines and it went straight to the actuator seal and it filled up with water. Therefore, when that happens, it don't work no more. So I had to take it out. I mean, I damaged it pretty bad, not knowing what it was that I had done, and replaced it. But to replace it, you got to get the wheel off. Now there's a guy on there. He does a video to show you how to do it. But the lug nuts, what I did, I seen a guy on YouTube, and that's what made me think about it. He broke an axle bolt using a jack, and then what do you call that? A breaker bar. Now I went down to AutoZone. I bought can't remember this size in inches, 21, 18, whatever size breaker bar. It's made by, crap, I can start with a D. I can't remember who it was made by. But anyway, it starts with a D. I know that. But I've got an impact air compressor, and not even the impact. And of course, it's a Harbor Freight, would break the lug nuts loose. So what I had to do is I went down and bought a breaker bar, and I put one of my impact sockets onto the breaker bar. Yeah, I think it was it's a 1/2 inch size, I think, socket size. I put that on there, and I was able to leverage the bar onto the jack, and I would just jack up the jack, and that broke it loose. It broke my lug nuts loose. Now there were times I had to get into my truck, pull it up or back it up a little bit so that I could get it just right onto the jack, and I was able to jack my jack up again and break them loose. I did it that way. I did that for every lug nut on that wheel to get that wheel off. Now I do have a torque wrench, and instead of torquing them, or instead of over tightening them, all I did was I used the breaker bar and I tightened them to the best that I could, and then I used the torque wrench and I torqued them to, I think it was 100 foot-pounds. 80, 85 per lug nut would probably be okay. But I torque them to 100 each one. That way the wheel ain't going to come off since it's a big tire. Now, I did try before all this. I went and bought it's called the Nut Buddy Junior from Amazon, and I couldn't get that sucker to break them loose. So I ended up having to do it this way, and it worked. I got my tire off, and I was able to go ahead and change out the actuator seal on the back of the hub. And as far as I know of, it's working okay. Also, if you're having problems with one of your actuators, where you get water in it, it's wanting to, like, as you're driving down the road, engage, and it'll make like a sound, like a scraping sound. To fix that, you can lock the two front wheels in, just the two front wheels, and that'll keep you from damaging any more parts like gears in there where the actuator is. To do that, get up underneath the hood on the firewall next to the battery. You're going to have an EWI or something like that solenoid. And what you do is you pull the two lines, the air lines off of it, grab your two screws, not too big, and put some sealant or something around the screws, and then screw those into the hose lines so it makes a seal. Because if you get any kind of vacuum going through that line, it's going to run right into your cylinders and cause misfires. So you got to seal them. And when you seal them, what that does, that's going to leave suction. It's going to put suction onto the actuators where they always stay out. They will always be locked in. And that's okay. You can do that. You just can't go up. They say you can't go over 55 mile an hour. Now, I was driving 70, sometimes 75 mile an hour on the interstate with my fronts locked in. Now, this is a temporary fix until you can get the part to replace the part. That's what I did. So that's how you do that. And then after you get your new actuator seal put in and installed, then you go ahead and take out them screws and hook it up the way it should be. And it should be all right. It should do fine. Those actuators, from what I'm under my understanding, they're reliable. You can count on them, unless you got like a crack in the hose where it's not holding good pressure in the lines. That could be one of your problems too. If you got a vacuum pump, you can actually hook it up and then check vacuum in each line that goes to those actuators to see if you got a leak. That's all I got. I hope this helps y'all. Somebody out there. I'm sorry I wasn't able to show you how to do it, but I'm pretty sure if you look around on YouTube, listen to how I describe it, you can do it too. It's not that bad. But I love y'all. God bless y'all. And have fun. Bye.